I attribute it to very much to watching Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas after taking like close to four and a half grams, give or take. That probably wasn't the best move. I mean, I didn't like not enjoy it. A lot made sense, like watching Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That sounds like gibberish to a certain extent when you're, yes, I am. Moderate dose when we watch Alice in Wonderland through the Looking Glass Z. On Robitussin, you robo tripped. Wizard of Oz and Pink Floyd. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with Wizard of Oz, and I'm not sure why. It's a good film. Um, oh, your cat jumping on your lap when you're like zoned in. Yeah. That'd probably fuck me up too, especially if I'm like locked into what I'm watching. Because especially when you kind of liquefy and you veg out and you're like totally into what you're doing, something taking you out of that. Yeah, I can see how that was, Madagascar on shrimp. That does sound. I haven't really tried like to go to cartoons or, like kids type shit, really. When I was having that bad time though, Svetka put on what was it? Not Anastasia. What? No. What's that one? The Fantasia. Fantasia 3000. That was that was nice. The beginning part with the fucking whales and shit, and then like the whales start flying, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? Some yeah, that's a pretty good. I think the original Fantasia is probably better to watch. Although I do like Fantasia 3000. That has the one with the Mickey Mouse with the like demon dude where he's like, "Rah," and it's all the classical music. I think they both have it though. Um, it's wild the appreciation that you can get while under the influence of like psilocybin or something like that. It's a deeper understanding and appreciation, I think, than you normally get because you're, I guess, more tapped into like, depending on your mindset, like the more artistic side of it, I guess. I'm sure some people would disagree with me on that. There was a guy on YouTube when I posted the last thing about like reverence and respect for the dead, that whole conversation we had. Uh he was like, I hate to break it to you, dude, but you're just hallucinating. And I'm like, oh, okay. Tell that to the people who have had like PTSD and shit like that and then taken psilocybin and been more or less cured. Like come out the other side and been a better person. You're gonna take that away from them? You're gonna take away from somebody the fact that they dabbled in psilocybin and fucking came away from it on the other side being less addicted to something, feeling more complete as a person. Maybe they had like a spiritual experience and they feel like better. Why are you going to take that from people or try to, you know? Be like, that's not what it is. Well, okay. That's your perception, dude. Don't need to be angry about it. I was curious about that, Ray, with the horror compilations playing the music in the background. Cause I remember when Toasty, he came in the last time when he had like a really, massive dose and was watching. And I was like, maybe I should switch it. Cause I try to like, I do stuff that I enjoy, but I obviously also want you guys to enjoy it. And I'm not trying to fucking have somebody be like nightmare, nightmare, night, you know? I'm glad it didn't though. Scare you, that is. No, you don't gotta babysit them, but I like everybody to have a good time. That's my paramount focus. I don't even think I'm using that word properly. Oh, you're. I think I remember you mentioning that the Freddy's skin transfer to yours. It's weird, also, like when you're under the influence of psilocybin, like how okay you are with shit that normally. And obviously, I think that comes from. Well, I know that comes from the knowledge that you are under the influence of a substance. Because if you weren't, and then you were like, oh, my hand looks like fucking Freddy Krueger, and you're at fucking work, you probably lose your fucking mind. You'd be like, I don't. microdosing psilocybin in current tests are rerouting thought process, even changing the nerve endings in the brain responsible for opioid addiction. Yeah, I didn't know it was exact like that, Anton. There was what was it in that that show with the guy who does it's on Netflix. I forget what it's called, but where he does like tobacco, he does psilocybin, he does LSD, and then I think he does like one other thing. I thought it was really interesting. Maybe it was from that, or it might have been from something else. Whatever. It's where they're talking about, maybe it's Alan Watts. Fuck, I don't. Whatever, dude. They were talking about how the best way to define taking psilocybin and how it affects you is basically like you have a hill where you have all these pathways from all the skiers and snowboarders and whatever, and those pathways are the pathways your brain takes to get to what it needs to get to. But a fresh snowfall is what psilocybin is, and it kind of allows your brain to like find new pathways, better pathways. And I'm inclined to agree with that, because I myself, like I basically just completely stopped drinking. I mean, I still drink on occasion. I go out with friends. I have a couple drinks, but the desire to fucking habitually drink all the time, on stream, off stream, you know, is gone, which is wild. And that's completely respectable that you don't have any desire to go back to it, Z. I don't think it's for everybody. Some people as well don't even need any assistance to gain the insight and like connectedness. They're already geared that way, I think. What it looks like, and if it's what? Psilocybin, devil? Is that what you're asking? Why it's illegal? It does. When you look at it sober, or even what it looks like, it just looks like mushrooms, dried mushrooms. Um, it is natural. It is natural. It's naturally occurring. Although there are people that grow it. Um, it's difficult depending on who you are and I considered growing it for a brief period there. But it's a lot of like startup. I mean, you can ask Anton about it if you want. Anton knows a person who knows a person who knows a person who knows a person who grows it. All right, Zach, no worries. Thanks for popping in, dude. Are we just having like a drag race outside my fucking house right now? I don't know if you hear this shit. I have both headphones on and I can hear it, so I can only imagine how fucking loud it is on the fucking mic. I'm telling you, dude, I'm gonna start freezing fucking water bottles, and I'm gonna hide in the fucking tree, and I'm gonna chuck them at these fucking cars that feel the need to go from a dead ass stop to flooring it to 45 miles a fucking hour down the street to the next fucking stop sign. I don't think you were a dumb kid for experimenting, Z. I think that's just trying to doing what anybody's trying to do, just trying to find like our place in the world, and trying to just get more acclimated with ourselves, because I feel like a lot of the time we're constantly trying to figure ourselves out and figure other people out at the same time, figure out our place in, like, where do we fit into everything else. Why are we like, yeah, you could do like the why am I here? What is my purpose? I don't even mean that. I just mean like, what am I doing? What is my goals? Because you look at other people, and other people seem like they got it all figured out and they're fucking locked in. Not everybody. And in my experience, most of those people do not. They might be successful and they might got some shit locked down and whatever, but they don't know any better than you do. They only know so far. And I think that's everybody. 6 tabs at AT, Jesus. Yeah, I think that's what Anton was saying, Devil, that it heals damaged pathways in the brain. No, me neither. I don't think any of them. Why are you able to legally regulate what people are, if someone really wants to, this might be a hot take. If someone really wants to fuck themselves up, right? Go out, fucking do methamphetamine or angel dust or fucking, as long as they have, I'm more of the inclination of accessibility in terms of not for the drugs themselves, but I guess you could, whatever. I guess it falls together or coincides. I think having safe ways and safe spaces to do what people want to do, they're going to do it one way or another. And as long as they're not hurting people, because more often than not, in my experience, when people go out of their way to source these things because they're illegal, makes them inherently more dangerous. And also what, like, their interaction with other people becomes more dangerous because they're afraid to do it in a safe space. They have to acquire it in a not so safe space. So I agree with you, right? I don't think it should be illegal at all. Just fucking let people, you can try and regulate it if you'd like. Obviously, fucking government wants to fucking, I want the money too. Don't you get enough? Don't you get enough? You don't fucking spend it on the shit you say you spend it on. Yeah, yeah. That wait, British Columbia decriminalized all drugs? I thought it was Canada did, and didn't one other place do it? Like one other country that I'm drawing a blank on. And it was the same thing. Like nothing fucking crazy happened. It wasn't a huge increase in crime or decrease. It was just kind of like, that's the same shit, dude. There is a real dark side. I agree with you on that, Z. Harder shit isn't a joke. I will also agree with you on that. And I do agree that the focus should be rehabilitation, but you can't, again, this might be a hot take. I think that there's some people that they're kind of locked in to the pathway that they want to go. And I'm the type of person, if you tell me I can't fucking do something, that makes me want to do it 10 times as hard. Just cause you told me no. And that doesn't obviously qualify to everything, but I don't know. I think it is a hard, there's no like one fix all for a lot of the stuff we're talking about. There's no like guaranteed, yeah, that's gonna work. So yeah, I mean, rehabilitation definitely is, rehabilitation, therapy, accessibility to like clinics that can kind of like talk them through whatever they're going through is a big deal. But you know, yeah, being intoxicated and driving, definitely laws against that, operating heavy machinery, et cetera, et cetera. It being, yeah, that's my point. It being illegal doesn't stop anything. Um, yeah, that's a lot of people, Anton. Being like, I've met functioning addicts of all types that are able to go to work in a corporate environment. Fuck, dude, I knew a dude who was a functioning meth addict that worked in corporate America. Fucking 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, was fucking railing lines of fucking methamphetamine. And just his composition or whatever, he wasn't like geeked the fuck out of his mind. He was like actually just doing his work just a lot faster than other people. And no one ever could tell. He had it dialed in somehow, which is just wild to me. They do, yeah. You giving somebody the tools to take care of themselves. At the end of the day, they have to want to do it themselves. There's no, you can't force somebody to want to be better. They have to want to be better. You can give people advice all day. You can coach them, even if you've been there. There's some times where I'll talk with somebody and I'll tell them like, hey man, there's like a lot of similarities in what you're going through and what I went through. I'd like to share like my story with you. Some people don't even want to fucking hear that. Some people do. They're somewhat receptive to it. But I've noticed like over the years where I'll try to like share some insight on something that I went through and persevered through. Sometimes those people, they'll hear it to a point, but you can like kind of see in their eyes as you're talking to them the point at which they check out, because you'll say something like, oh, you might want to try this or do this, and then they hear how much work that would require with them doing X, Y, and Z. And they're like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. Because it is. It's so much easier to just fucking be like, you know what? I'm addicted to this. Even if they don't acknowledge it and just continue to do it, then it is fucking not, you know? Stop spending money on the war on drugs and start spending money on mental. Yeah, but that's not profitable. That's why pinpoint pupils for 8 years. Jesus Christ. Think they're slick. Kratom. I've never fucked Kratom. I know Kratom has like a good track record to a point. Some people overdo it. Cobra. Anyway,